fuel subsidies. Nigerian fuel subsidies benefit the rich, not the poor. Fueling theirs and government's endless fleet of cars at the expense of the poor. Estimates show that the poorest 40% of the population consume just 3% of petrol. Fuel subsidies are killing the Nigerian economy, costing the economy of Nigeria $10 billion alone in 2022. Now that means that Nigeria is borrowing what it doesn't have to borrow for. If it simply eliminates these inefficient subsidies and uses the resources well for national development.
Before 40% of Nigerians benefit very little from the fuel subsidy. And we know the consequences of unveiling a masquerade. We'll get fierce opposition from those benefiting from the oil scam, oil subsidy scam.
Subsidy. Unfortunate. The budget that I've glimpsed before I assumed office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election and its aftermath. In this video, I want us to talk about the lie that are being spread in respect of fuel subsidy. And one of the lies that are being peddled about is that fuel subsidy benefits only the rich. It is not true. That is a lie, that it is only the rich that benefits from fuel subsidy. No. In fact, the vast majority of beneficiaries of fuel subsidy are the poor Nigerians. And I will tell you why, and I will show you how. You saw Akinwumi Adesina, the chairman of, or the chief executive officer of African Development Bank, telling his audience that 40% of Nigerians who are the poor Nigerians, perhaps what they mean by that 40% was those who are classified as multidimensionally poor, which is about 133 million Nigerians that the National Bureau of Statistics classified as multidimensionally poor. That they don't benefit anything from, they don't benefit from fuel subsidy. It is the rich that benefits. It is not true. Now take a look at this. Now that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, has removed the fuel subsidy, go to the bus stops within the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and see how people are suffering. And these are people who does not have vehicles of their own. They are finding it difficult to move from one place to another. Transportation prices have increased by over 300%. And this is happening in a city like Abuja. Then you can imagine what is happening in the rural communities, where farmers are trying to move their goods, their farm produce, from one place to another, where they are trying to move from one area of the rural community to another. You can then imagine what is going on. That what has happened now has paralyzed the economy of the ordinary Nigerians. They are the ones feeling the pinch. Agreed that the rich people, some rich people, especially those who are involved directly in the importation of fuel, and then there are corrupt enablers in the ministries, especially Minister of Petroleum Resources, and then Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, and all those other government agencies that partook in the corruption that we are having in the country. Those are the people that are to be blamed. They are beneficiaries of any illegality that goes on in fuel subsidy. Nobody is doubting that. But to say that you are removing fuel subsidy because it doesn't benefit the poor is a lie from the pit of hell. Indeed, that is the only thing the poor Nigerian benefit. Most Nigerians in the rural communities don't have access to water. Government is not subsidizing water for them. Government is not subsidizing nothing for them. Healthcare, education, nothing is being subsidized for them. This fuel is the thing that they are benefiting directly only from government. And this is fuel that is Nigerian owned, that we have the deposit in our country. They don't benefit anything from it. They don't benefit anything from it, except for the fact that the fuel subsidy exists. Somebody in Sokoto, somebody in Meduguri, somebody in Damaturu, somebody in Aba can be able to buy fuel at the same price, or as at a limited price that is affordable. You can imagine what is going on in the rural communities now. How barbers, hairdressers, and those who use fuel to carry out their technical activities, like tailors, like barbers, like hairdressers, and what have you, what they are passing through now because subsidy have been unilaterally removed. The rich are not suffering it the way those people are suffering it. And you are living in a country where the business people, the small and medium scale businesses, provide their own power, their own water, their everything for themselves. And all these things are powered by fuel. And you say that it doesn't, the poor people don't benefit. It's only the rich. It is not true. It is not true. In fact, even those you think are rich are not even rich. Those that they think are rich, because ordinarily you cannot classify a civil servant who managed to get a Tokumbo car as rich because he has a car, or he has a car or two. Then you classify him that he's rich. He's not rich. That's not the definition of being rich. That is not the definition of being rich. And I'll get you what is defined as being rich, so that we can be able to understand what it really means when they say that it is only the rich that are benefiting from fuel subsidy, and that the poor are not benefiting nothing from it. That's not true. That's not true. In fact, for you to be rich in Nigeria, for you to be classified as rich, you need to have at least 28.7 million naira to consider yourself rich in Nigeria. That is what a recent report shows. So if you are talking about that those who are benefiting are the rich, how many Nigerians have up to 228.7 million naira in their bank account? In a country where we are told, even by the central bank, that you hardly see most of the account owners, you hardly see up to 500,000 naira in most of the account owners in Nigeria. And then you are telling us that it's the rich. How many rich people do we have in Nigeria, in the rich sense of the word? Like I said, for you to be rich in Nigeria, for a Nigeria to break into the 1% population of the wealthy, it will now take a net worth of $70,000. If you have a net worth worth of $70,000, you can be considered to be rich. And that $70,000 means that you have at least 20, that means 28.7 million naira. Means 28.7 million naira. How many people have it in Nigeria? How many civil servants has a net worth of 28.7 million naira? Now, this is based on latest reports by Knight Frank Wealth Reports. Now, using the 30,000 naira minimum wage as a benchmark, it means a working 18-year-old will have to wait 97 years. That is if he plans to save the whole of his salary to have up to 28.7 million naira, which is what you should have. Now, Knight Frank reports describe wealth as the net asset of a person that includes property, cash, equities, business interests less, and liabilities like loans. Now, if you go by this, you find out that the vast majority of Nigerians are very poor. Of course, when you hear that 133 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor, you can see that poverty walks in four legs in Nigeria. And subsidy is the only thing that Nigerians benefit. Now, why should these 133 million Nigerians and others, because I can tell you for free that many civil servants, many unemployed people belong to these poor Nigerians. They are not rich. They are not rich. They are barely surviving. The minimum wage of 30,000 naira cannot take any worker home. Cannot take any worker home. Because a bag of rice is more than 30,000 naira. So many people are benefiting from fuel subsidy. Majority of Nigerians are benefiting. Now that the subsidy have been removed, have you not seen how everybody is suffering? How most Nigerians are suffering? How prices of transportation, goods and services has skyrocketed to 300%. Who are the people suffering it? It's the poor masses. So how can they come and tell us lies that it is the rich that are suffering it, that are benefiting from fuel subsidy? That is benefits the rich. No. That is an agenda they want to use to remove the fuel without providing alternative. That is the agenda they want to use. You can see that after Adesina of the CEO of African Development Bank said it at the inauguration, Vice President Shetima was regurgitating it, that 40% of poor Nigerians, they are not benefiting anything. It's not true. It's not true. Now, these 40% of Nigerians, these poor Nigerians, who are the only thing they benefit, because for them to move from one place to another. Look at, for them to move from one place to another, as transportation costs has skyrocketed by over 300%. They are passing through hell. It is a fact. Is it the poor, the rich that are passing through the hell they are passing through right now? So how can they come and deceive Nigerians that the poor are not, it's the rich that is being favored? It's not true. Removing the subsidy without providing an alternative source for the poor Nigerians will worsen the situation, the state of poor Nigerians. That is a fact. So let nobody be deceived. So it is a lie from the pit of hell that it is only the rich that are enjoying subsidy. No. This subsidy is the only thing that ordinary Nigerians benefit from federal government. Because with the subsidy, it moderates the sale of fuel and transportation cost. Because if you are to do it according to market price and market forces, you can imagine what it will cost to transport imported fuel from Lagos to Maiduguri. It means that people in Maiduguri, Borno State, will suffer the most if you remove subsidy. That's a fact. The only people that may be able to survive it, people living around Lagos, where the imported fuel used to land first before being distributed across the country. Or perhaps the situation will ameliorate when Dangote refinery, which I understand will not start operation until 2024. So it is not, government has, I'm happy that the labor has intervened now and said that they are not going to take it. Their meeting last night ended in a deadlock, and labor is insisting. And I hail Joe Ajero and the TUC leader for standing their ground that they must return to status quo ante. They must revert back to the normal price before they start negotiation. So anybody deceiving ordinary Nigerians, and this thing that Additional said is being regurgitated by Shetima and other Nigerians. And the real problem, the reason we are having problem with fuel subsidy is not the fault of ordinary Nigerians. It is as a result of the incompetence of Nigeria's leadership. Let me give you an example. You are saying that you want to remove subsidy because fuel are imported in the excess as needed by Nigeria. As a government, you have National Bureau of Statistics, you have all kinds of agencies. You are not able to find out the exact number of fuel needed in Nigeria. And you are blaming the ordinary Nigerian for that. And you are collecting salary, allowances, and all that. And then you are complaining that the fuel are leaving Nigeria to Niger Republic, to Benin Republic, to Cameroon. Therefore, that's why ordinary Nigerians should not have subsidy, because of your ineptitude, your laziness in finding a solution how to stop fuel from moving from Nigeria to other parts of the country, to Niger Republic or whatever. So ordinary Nigerians need to suffer for the inefficiency and the ineptitude and laziness of government officials. Now, who are the people manning our borders? The customs, the immigration. Are they not drawing salaries? Then you sack all of them and bring in foreign private security agencies. Let them man all those places. And you would see that no fuel will be smuggled from Nigeria. So ordinary Nigerians should not be held accountable, made to suffer for the inefficiency, for the incapacity of Nigerian leaders to think outside the box. That is the truth of the matter. It is as a result of corruption in the system. And who are those corrupt? It is the fuel importers and their government officials enablers from top to bottom. Right from those in the presidency to those in the NNPC, all of them, they know what is going on. When they talk about that federal government spends so much on fuel subsidy, and who are the people adding the figures? Who are the people adding the figures? Have there been any consequences? Has the EFCC done anything about these people? Has the ICPC done anything about those who are adding this humongous figures that we are paying out as fuel subsidy. No, nobody makes effort because we know that these are the engine. This is the oil they use to lubricate their political machinery. That's how they used to get money to bribe everybody to win elections, to be on top. And then they are looking for a scapegoat, saying it's only benefiting the rich. They are the ones that is being benefited. They are the ones benefiting from it. But they want us to believe that it doesn't benefit the poor. The poor doesn't really benefit from it. It is the rich, those who have 3 cars, 4 cars. Well, there may be those who have 3 or 4 cars. Even car ownership in Nigeria is debatable. But the vast majority of Nigerians who use public transport pass through a lot. They pass through a lot to move from point A to point B, from point B to point C. And removing the fuel subsidy without providing an alternative that is sustainable. It's not like going to buy buses and say you are bought buses, and then buses will break down in after 6 months. And you say you have settled the people. You have provided transportation for them. No, that's not it. There must be a sustainable transportation system that benefits those in the rural communities and those in the urban centers. And then there must be steady power supply, because it is using this fuel that small-scale businesses are surviving in our rural communities. Those who grind corn, those who grind cassava, those who blend all kinds of things that they are doing in the rural communities using engines. They are the beneficiaries of the fuel subsidy. And you are trying to take food out of their mouth and telling us that the only people who are benefiting are those who are rich. And if you look at those who are rich, how many Nigerians are rich? How many Nigerians are rich in the real sense of being rich? So it is not true that fuel subsidy is benefiting only the rich. It's benefiting mostly the poor. That is the only way the poor have been surviving, especially to drive their small-scale businesses. The rich may be benefiting from it, but how many are they? How many percentage of Nigerians are rich? How many? How many belong to the 1% of Nigerians? How many Nigerians have up to 28.7 million naira in their assets or in their account? How many of them, when you calculate their net asset, they have up to $70,000? How many? Those who are rich are those who corrupted themselves, because it's only in Nigeria that a civil servant will be classified as rich. You don't become rich by being a civil servant. That is not the pathway for getting rich, or pathway for wealth. When you go, there's a small booklet. There's a small booklet called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Go and read that book. You will see that the rich dad has only elementary education, and the poor dad was a professor. So being a lecturer, being in civil service, being in government job, it's not a pathway for wealth. So you cannot classify people in that category that they are wealthy, that they are rich, that they are the ones benefiting. So when you see university lecturers, you see civil servants, you say they are rich, they are the ones benefiting from fuel subsidy. No, they are not. they are the only ones that benefit. Those ones are benefiting because in fact, you can classify them as among the poor Nigerians. Because if you convert their salary to dollars, you will realize how insignificant it is. So let the needful be done. This fuel subsidy should not be removed without federal government finding an alternative that will be able to assuage the sufferings of Nigerians. And labor should not kowtow to the federal government. Joe Ajero and the TUC people should ensure that they don't cave in to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have his way without them providing an alternative source for Nigerians to survive. Because I can tell you for free, this fuel subsidy removal, if it's allowed to stay, it will increase poverty level in Nigeria more than ever seen before. That's what is going to happen. It's going to lead to inflation. It's going to lead to, already inflation is 22%. Buhari left Nigeria inflation rate at 22%, over 22%. He inherited inflation rate at 9% in 2015. He left office leaving it at 22%. And now this fuel increase at over 300% has worsened the situation for Nigerians. It should not be so. It should not be allowed to stand. The government should not be allowed to get away with it without paying a price of coming down to the level of the poor masses who fuel subsidy is the only thing they have ever benefited from government. Since they heard that Nigeria is an oil producing country, the only thing the ordinary Nigerian has ever benefited is being able to move from point A to point B, move his agri produce from his farm to the market, from the market to his home, and all other kind of movement, being able to process his agri produce using biofuel in his what they call I pass my neighbor and all that, using it to manage his barbing salon, his hairdressing salon. These are the only things they benefit from Nigeria all their lives. And you can't take it away like that and come and lie to them that the fuel subsidy benefits only the rich. That is not true. It's a lie. The rich may be benefiting from it. And when I talk about the rich, I'm talking about the 1% who are rich. 1% who are rich, and how many are they? So you can do your mathematics and find out those who belong to that 1% of rich Nigerians out of 220 million Nigerians. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.